everybody. It is Gays for Trump, and we are doing a live video here on YouTube just to talk about some of the things that we see coming up. Just so that everybody knows, we just got over the first debate. We're about to watch the vice presidential debate next, and then there'll be 2 more presidential debates after that.
And we're just over 30 days left until the actual election begins.
Right.
It is October 2nd today, so that means the WikiLeaks are coming out soon.
It's very exciting.
That's going to be Tuesday.
Yeah, I think he said Tuesday or Wednesday. Julian Assange will be releasing those, which will be great. Definitely excited to see that. But we just want to again, talk about why we support Donald Trump in the way that we do. We feel like we have done a lot of communicating with people that are Hillary supporters and people that are Donald Trump supporters, and we're kind of getting a common trend. And the trend that we see is, Hillary Clinton supporters just really, really dislike Trump. And we see that every single day, whether it be Donald Trump is mean, or the way that he says things, or he doesn't act presidential, or whatever their excuse is, they just really don't like him.
And that's something that I think we have to really start to look past, is his tone and his rhetoric.
Right.
He's not going to appease everybody. He's not going to speak the way that you want him to speak. He's making a point right now by speaking the way that he is. He is talking to Americans. He's talking to people in an everyday way that you would want somebody to talk to you. I mean, when you talk to your friends, you don't want them to come up to you with a scripted speech.
Right.
And have them know exactly what they're going to say. So it's really refreshing to hear him talk to us in a different way.
Right.
And you have to keep in mind that when he, look at the way he talked with the president of Mexico, the president of Egypt. I mean, very, very diplomatic, very well-spoken. And you have to keep that in mind, that during his presidential run, the next 4 to 8 years while he's in office, he's going to be speaking that way. He's going to have a much better disposition to himself.
Right, I think so. And we made this point earlier, especially on Periscope, when we do our live Periscope show, but a lot of people are like, well, I don't like how he specifically speaks, especially at the debate. And I'm trying to sit here and understand why. Because we've had the seasoned politicians, we've had the Hillary Clintons, we've had the George Bushes and the Obamas, who, in my opinion, Obama is probably one of the best speakers rhetorically ever. But I think that we're sick of it. We're sick and tired of hearing things and hearing perfect sentences when nothing gets done, and we're tired of it. And that's exactly why we support Donald Trump, is because we don't want the all talk, no action kind of politics that we've seen for the last 20 years. We want somebody to get something done.
Exactly.
And say what you want about Donald Trump, but he's brilliant. He spent the least amount of money, than anybody else running, and he's leading in the polls right now. And he's beating Hillary Clinton in the polls right now. These are things that we need to understand. It's working. He's had the media pay for his campaign for free because of the way that he acts. And when you watch him have these diplomatic meetings with people from across the country, there's many videos on YouTube where he's in Scotland or wherever it may be. He's very, very well put together. He speaks very diplomatically. And I think that's the President Trump that we're going to see. But I think he is just leading the media through this trench of crazy because it's publicity for him, and he gets free interviews and free publicity out of it, and I think that's a very brilliant thing to do.
Look at Hillary Clinton. For the past 30 years, again, a very, very good speaker. She knows how to use her words wisely, but 30 years she hasn't done anything that we can name freely. I mean, look at herself during the debate. She started to list off her accomplishments, and she named 2 of them. And she couldn't name anything else, and she said, I could go on and on. But she really couldn't, because she can't even name her own accomplishments.
Right.
And the same thing with President Obama. I agree with you. He is a very, very good speaker, but he has no action behind it to back himself up with. Whereas Donald Trump does have actually stuff to show and prove that he is a man of action and less talk.
Right. And I mean, we can go into the nitty gritty about, specifically, factual evidence of why illegal immigration is hurting this country, or why, $21 trillion is a very bad thing for our country in debt, or why $800 billion annual trade deficits are bad for this country. We can go on and on and on about those things, but we like to take a step back, especially in this video, just to explain, hey, maybe let's just look at things from a 10,000 foot view, and maybe we can get a better understanding about why we support our candidate. The biggest complaint, again, which is why we brought it up, that we get against Donald Trump is the way that he speaks. So we already covered that. But if we look at other complaints that we get from Hillary Clinton supporters, it's his taxes. His taxes. They seem to think that this is like a huge deal that is taking over, and he's hiding some massive secret. I just want everybody to understand, keep in mind what's going on. He's been audited every single year for the past 15 plus years. The IRS approves every year the audit. There is no criminal activity going on if he's being audited. If he's not being audited, that's where the criminal activity could be taking place. But everything that he is doing is legal. That's why it's going through an audit, and that's why they have to approve on it at the end of the day. I don't understand where people are getting all this hype about his taxes, and to be honest with you, I think it's a distraction. It's a distraction promoted by the media because they have nothing else on Donald Trump.
I read an interesting quote today. I cannot remember the source, excuse me, and I'm not going to be able to word it correctly, but when politicians start attacking you personally, it's because they have no political, nothing political to attack you for. So they can't come at you for your policies anymore, so they start to attack you personally. Right. And that's what Hillary Clinton is doing right now. She's trying to take Donald Trump down personally because she herself has no policy put in place for anything. I went to her website and I tried to look at her tax plan, and she just said, I'm going to tax the wealthy more, and I'm going to cut the red tape for small businesses. Did not give specifics on anything, whereas Donald Trump has, identified step by step what he's going to do and how he's actually going to go through with it. Right. And Hillary Clinton can't back herself up for that, so she has to go against Donald Trump personally. And going off of the taxes, again, what do we want to see from those? Why are we focusing on one individual's taxes when we should be focusing on the nation's $21 trillion debt?
Exactly.
I think the $21 trillion in debt is a little more important than one individual's taxes.
Right, and keep in mind we're talking about his personal tax returns. All of the financial statements and how Donald Trump spends money was released when he ran for president with the Trump Organization financials. All of that was filed, hundreds of pages worth of documents, about assets and liability and where the money comes from and where it goes. All of that was filed. So, and we all know that Donald Trump pours his heart and soul into the Trump Organization. That's his lifeblood, right? And so that's where he runs it. That's what he does. And so I just don't understand the whole tax issue. But I can understand that that's what the Democrats want to attack him on, just because it's really hard for them to attack on anything else. And if you notice, like he said, Hillary Clinton isn't coming at his policies like they're wrong. And the reason why is because she supported some of his policies way back in the day. She supported a border wall on our southern border. She supported, helping a safe zone in the Middle East and to try to get people to safety. She supported a lot of Donald Trump's policies already, which is very hard for her to attack him on because she knows that he's going to just slam her right back. So that's why you see all the personal attacks. But I think I am more confident now than I have ever been that Donald Trump will be our next president. Just after everything that I've seen and heard, and just how many people and how much enthusiasm there is for Donald Trump. Tens of thousands of people still to this day going to his rallies. We're going to go to his rally tomorrow.
October 3rd, I believe the date is.
In Loveland, and we are so excited. I hear it's sold out, so that's going to be awesome. But just the amount of enthusiasm for Donald Trump is out of control. So many people excited, so many people talking, so many people defending him, and just coming together as Americans, whether you're gay, whether you're black, whether you're Latino, whatever it may be. Donald Trump has the most minority support than any other Republican candidate in history, and that is worth noting. And I think that we are coming together as Americans, and we are excited to see this guy as our next president. And you know, on the other side of it, you don't see that much enthusiasm for Hillary Clinton. When people talk about Hillary Clinton, especially face to face, they're not smiling.
And
they're
they
not
can't-
happy.
and they can't back themselves up. They lead to the one word responses that you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a xenophobe, you have no idea what you're talking about, and ultimately they're the ones that end up just walking away in anger because they know that when you present back at them,
Right.
they can't come back at you because they have nothing.
We get blocked all the time because we present facts. They can't argue, so they call us a racist and a bigot, which is funny because we're gay, and then they block us. So, and I think a lot of people can identify with that type of argument, especially in today's political climate. But we're excited. We are 100% on board the Trump train, and we are doing a lot of work to get the word out there and to get people to understand, look, the media is against this guy. They hate him because the media is part of the establishment. And if you don't believe that, look at the WikiLeaks. Look at Jake Tapper specifically, how the Clinton campaign bribed Jake Tapper and told the Clinton campaign told Jake what questions to ask Hillary Clinton. I mean, this is the kind of politics that we don't want to see anymore, and that's why we're rallying behind Donald Trump.
And so I strongly encourage everybody to open your eyes. Don't fall for the liberal media feeding you lie after lie after lie. Do your own research. Read a couple of different articles and come to a conclusion on your own. If you're reading an article that doesn't have any quotes in it, odds are that it's probably not a credible article.
Right.
So
Our-
just keep your mind open to different sources. Don't just take one source for word.
Right. Our rule of thumb is, especially when reading media, just keep in mind it's liberal media, no matter what you look at. Even Fox News is establishment media, so it's not necessarily a healthy thing to watch. But when you do read all of this information, keep in mind a couple things. If it's too good to be true or if it's too bad to be true, it probably is. Read more into it. Understand what's going on, especially within the specific context. If you don't understand something, watch the actual video that happened and watch it front to back. Don't just watch the little clip that the media is going to show you. Try to give yourself some context about a situation. And then the last warning, especially when you're reading online articles, if there's no quotes, don't think of it as a legitimate article. And if they said sources say, keep in mind there is no sources. Okay, they would name the sources if there were sources. Just keep that
Exactly.
in mind. And if there's no quotes about what anybody said in the article, if it's all opinion, just keep that in mind. It's all opinion. So if any word is not in parentheses, or I'm sorry, ellipses, that means it's somebody's opinion. Keep that in mind.
In quotes.
And quotes, sorry,
Quotes,
whatever. Ellipses, quotes, whatever. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, and I think that we'll all do a better job, especially with Donald Trump as our next president.
Exactly.
So,
Don't let the liberal media distract you. Watch out for the distractions out there. Keep focused on the real issues that are going on in America.
Right.
Whether it's the tax returns or Miss Universe, Miss America back in '95. I mean that's irrelevant in today's going-ons.
Right.
So tomorrow, Monday. What is it? 6:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time is when the Trump rally will start in Loveland, Colorado.
we will be live streaming.
Yes.
So
we are going to be first in line,
Yes.
and we are going to be periscoping
Front row.
throughout the day, and we are going to do a live YouTube feed from there as well. So definitely check that out.
And we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So if you don't know who we are, check us out on Twitter, Politic Voice. And then you can see, obviously, you're on YouTube. And you can also email us, Politic Voice as well. So all of those things, so to get in contact with us. And definitely watch our Periscope. Our Periscope is what we do a lot of our debates on, our live debates. So if you want to call in, argue with us, ruffle some feathers, go ahead and do so. Again, it's Politic Voice.
So subscribe to us here, please. Comment below, and we will see everybody tomorrow at the Donald Trump rally. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.